Oh, now, you look outside and give a young. It's just another boring dawn. The sky looks gray on rivers bound to flow. Your days are feeling just the same. For a long time you've been off your game. Don't care to play on cat to keep us cold. I don't know if your soul's feeling low, if your heart's growing cold. You just need the drop of summertime. And you know, if your day feels too long, you just need a tiny sun. Take away the endless house goodbye. And I know a song, just a quick fix. The secret sauce in your mix. If you don't believe me, listen to the song. And you know, if your soul is feeling old, if your heart is growing cold, you just need the drop of summertime. And you know, if your day feels too long, you just need a tiny song that can make those endless hours go by. No. You know, if your soul's feeling whole, if your heart is growing cold, you just need a drop of summertime. And you know, if your day feels too long, you just need